Welcome. I'm Meredith. This is the Oasis Spiritual Empowerment Tarot. All about tarot, oracle, and empowering you. And today, finally, I'm going to do the second half of my VR for the only 10 mass market decks. And that was originated or re-originated, I guess, maybe, by Garden Goddess Tarot and Rose Honey Ritual. And I'll link their original videos in the description. Also, big shout out to Robyn's Reflections, who her VR on this made me aware of it, and it's fabulous, and I will link that as well. Now, if you missed it, I did do only 10 mass market decks tarot, and I'll link that below too. This is only 10 mass market decks oracle, because there was no way I was going to be able to do 10 of both. So we're going to do 10 for each. Now this one was it was more challenging for me, I think, because, for two reasons. One, because there are more oracle mass market decks that I really enjoy. But also, I think the reality is, if I absolutely could only ever have 10 oracle decks, they probably wouldn't be mass market. Or there are some that I think would be in that list, but I think most of my favorites are indie. But let's get into the list. So first, we have the African Goddess Rising Oracle. This is by Abiola Abrams, I hope. It's 44 card deck. And this is one, I love this. Look at those backs. Beautiful. Now they're a bit glossy. Thing about this deck, it's so beautiful. It's a very different, this deck to me, I feel like it touches a different part of me than a lot of other decks. Definitely very, very strong feminine energy. There's something so special about this deck, beyond just being beautiful. We do have nice keywords. They're pretty, we have like truth, storms, intuition, grounding, scarcity, naked. I like that these can be taken a lot of different ways, So to me, they're very open-ended. The colors are just exquisite. And it's a deck that I really, really love. It's not a deck that I think I've ever used for men. It is, it's all women. I think it's great for women. This is not to say that obviously you couldn't or even wouldn't want to use it for anybody else, but I don't know. I just feel like this really ticks that feminine at me. Oh God, look at that. That feminine energy kind of deck. And I love it. So definitely has to be one of the 10. Next, Woodland Wardens by Jessica Rowe. Now this deck, love those backs. I love the way this deck feels. It just feels so earthy. Great deck for kind of grounding. Again, I really enjoy the keywords. I don't always use them. Sometimes, a lot of times, I just focus on the art. Usually I'll focus on the art and then kind of at least take a peek, you know. This is a great deck to use for clients. But I do use it for myself as well. I love possum so much. It's just a really nice deck. It goes great with Roots and Wings, which is not mass market. But yeah, it's a fabulous, fabulous deck, and it pairs well with a lot of things. And I really enjoy it. I enjoy the beauty. I enjoy the tactile experience. I enjoy the keywords. And it's really, it's a lovely, lovely deck. So next is a deck that I tend to pair with this, and that is Botanical Inspirations. This is by Lynn Araujo. This deck languished for a while, and I think it was only when I got Woodland Wardens that I started really using it. Now, it does have the name on the backs. It doesn't really bother me. I don't really care. But look at, I mean, it's just, I love that old paper kind of look. I love that we have these quotes. The artwork, of course, is beautiful. I love that if I know the flower, I can actually recognize it. I feel like sometimes with botanical decks, you know, I'm not super familiar with a lot of stuff, but for me, they can be hard to kind of tell what it is, and that is not at all the case with this. It's really clear what each thing is. So I love that. I like the keywords. So we have like destiny, beauty and happiness, intelligence, and mental beauty. So these are things that are so open. You can go so many different places. And I love that. And I love that it's paired with, look how beautiful. I love that it's paired with the flowers. And it's just an overall kind of vibe that I get with this deck. It just feels very Victorian, which I love. Yeah. And this is, you know, the, what was that deck? The one with all the bones. The something anatomy tarot. I've always been so tempted by it because I love the aesthetic of it, but I'm not really that into skeletons. I don't particularly mind them, but they're not like a big deal to me. So I just feel like I wouldn't be that into the deck. You know, I'd probably use it a little bit at first, and then maybe not so much. But so this gives me, I guess, what appeals to me about that deck, because for me it's more that overall Victorian kind of aesthetic that I like. Alright, the next one. This one's a newer acquisition, but I love this deck so much. So this is the Herbal Astrology Oracle, and it's by Adriana Ayales, artwork by Josephine Clerks. And this is another one that actually pairs really, really well with Woodland Wardens. Beautiful artwork. Really, really beautiful. You know, talking about being able to recognize some of these, to me, are very easy to recognize. Some, not as much. It just kind of depends. But for me, this deck is more than that. It's very, very evocative. Yeah, I love the artwork here. Look at that face. It just, I could do without all the uterus depictions, but I still love the deck. Yeah, the keywords are nice. I tend not to use these as much, honestly. I really focus on the artwork for this deck, and to me the artwork is just everything. It's just so lovely. Yeah, and I do feel like the pairing with the plant and the keywords is just really lovely. I just think it's a great deck. And this is another one that I think is great to use with clients or with other people, because it is so evocative, because there is so much to see, and it's so it's in its own way, it's vibrant. You know what I mean? Like, not the colors, but the images. And so, to me, I feel like clients are able to really kind of latch on and dig into the cards, which I think is fabulous. So, now the next deck, well, let's do this one first. So this is the Sacred Earth Oracle, and it is by Tony Carmine Salerno and Leela J. Williams. Artwork by Helena Nelson Reed. Now, this is signed, but it's because I got it from the artist Etsy shop, but it is mass market. It is Blue Angel. Sometimes I get confused with decks that I feel like, oh, this is mass market or this is indie, and they're not. But you see, I started edging. I gotta finish, but love the backs. Now these are that glossy, Blue Angel kind of cardstock. And at first I didn't like it, but I gotta say I don't really mind it anymore. I've kind of gotten used to it, and I kind of like it with this deck, honestly. This is another one that the artwork is just everything. I do really like the keywords. Sometimes my eye goes to them, sometimes it doesn't. I think this is a fabulous deck. And this is another one that I think is great for clients, because again, there's so much to kind of capture their attention, evoke a response, and an emotional response, which I think is great. And it's just a really nice deck. I actually haven't used this one in a little while, and I'm gonna have to finish edging it and use it again, because I do really enjoy it. And I will say that the glossiness, like, it used to be really sticky, and it has gotten better with use. So, just to show you, I mean, it's still, it's still glossy, but it definitely has gotten a lot better in terms of being able to shuffle and flip through and things like that. Usually it is, but yeah, I think it's a really nice deck. And yeah, if anything ever happened to, I mean, look at that, I would buy it again tomorrow, no doubt. So, all right, now the next deck, this one would definitely stand up against any indie deck as far as I'm concerned. And it's Into the Lonely Woods by Lucy Cavendish and Dan May. And I've talked about this, I think, in a few videos, so I apologize if I'm, being too redundant, but I mean, it's a fabulous deck. this is so, it's a very kind of niche deck. It's got a very specific purpose. You know, it's a great deck for dealing with loss and isolation, a feeling of loneliness. But I do think there are other uses as well, but it really shines in those areas. And we all feel that at times, right? You know, sometimes even if you have a lot of friends and you're with people, you can still feel very alone. And so I think that despite a very specific kind of target, I think this is a great deck really for everybody. It's so beautiful, and it's just so beautifully written, the guidebook. And you know, if you've been here for a little while, you probably recall that I'm not super keen on guidebooks, but to give you an example, because this is so beautifully done, let's take a look at, and it's not a ton of information, right? You get the black and white image, but just to give you an example, so this is time to move on. There is sorrow when someone no longer feels the way they once did about you. But know you lit a light in their lives. Even though the time has passed for your tales to intertwine, the loosening of the bonds of love need not be bitter. For now, you must take your leave to refine who you are next to become. You will not be lost when you follow the darkening path into the unknown. You will wander, but there are fragments of your soul waiting for you to find them along the way. Be content with the light you carry within and the light you have lit with others. These will be the guides on the mysterious path before you. Just beautiful. Now, do I always use the guidebook with this? No. But I do use the guidebook. So, because it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. And this is such a special deck. So, yeah. This deck stands up with any indie deck as far as I'm concerned. And to go with that, we have Journey of a Lonely Soul. And this is by Charles Harrington and Anna Majbroda. Now, this deck, obviously different authors. I still say that this is like a follow-on to Into the Lonely Woods. Just to me, anyway. Now, the cardstock's not as nice. I kind of hate it. It's very, very thin and... But I love this deck. I love this. The key words are just beautifully chosen. You know, we have perpetual particulars, reflections of artifice. And look at, I mean, these images. Oh. Guiding stars zenith. Black silk armor. I mean, these are just exquisite. Really, and look at that. Floating in the storm. This is such a fabulous, fabulous deck. Gardens of Bones. The images are so evocative, and so are those keywords. They're not, I guess they're more titles. But whatever they are, they're evocative, and they're brilliant, and I love them. Ballroom of Echoes. And... oh, look at that. So, I want to give you an example of this guidebook, too, because this is another one that is beautifully, beautifully written. Okay. So, for this one, for example, we have Dreamtime Odyssey. Mists swirl all around her, confounding her every step. The way is barred, seemingly impassable, until she realizes that all she needs to do is guide her steed on a new path, upside down and backwards. Our minds are often locked into accomplishing tasks the way we have always done them. Schools teach children that there is one correct answer and everything else must be discarded as quickly and efficiently as possible. This foolishness blinds us to the world, or to all of the wonderful, strange, unexpected answers that are at our fingertips. Very few of our most useful inventions would have been created by adhering to straightforward thinking. Acknowledge the first direction your intuition takes you in, but then put a bow on it. Forget all the rules and allow yourself to consider the wisdom of the absurd. Start at the end rather than the beginning. Pretend you are from another planet or another time and consider how you might approach the situation. How can you use old tools in new ways, perhaps if they were turned around slightly? You need not become too attached to each of these strange ideas. The goal is to free your mind, to see odd angles you had not yet considered. Ask yourself, which beliefs are limiting me? What is the strangest solution I can think of? And I love that we have these questions. I think for all of the cards. It's just so beautifully done. I may reback it at some point. We'll see. But, yeah, because I really hate the cardstock. But it doesn't keep me from using this deck, because this is an exquisite, wonderful deck. And it's another one that will stand up against an indie deck any day in my book. So, love this. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, so now we have Wisdom of Hafiz. And this is by Daniel Ladinsky, art by Silas Tobel, oracle by Angie Sullins. Now, there's no poetry from Hafiz, but look at those backs. The artwork is just wonderful. I mean, it's really wonderful. It makes me feel wonderful, and it's so evocative. I think that the messages are fabulous. And I really love this deck. I mean, just look at this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. I love this deck. And it is glossy, but not sticky at all. And it's really wonderful. Yeah, this is another one that would stand up against any indie deck. Primarily for the artwork, to me. But again, I do like the keywords. Now this one, I'll tell you, I don't use the guidebook. I just don't. Not that there's anything wrong with the guidebook. I'm sure it's probably fine. I just don't. Yeah, but you do have nice full color images on the pages and a page for each card. Yeah, I just don't feel like I need it with this deck. Okay. Now next, here again is one that to me stands up against any indie deck. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle, and it's illustrated by Jenna Della Grataglia, and it's by Alberto Villaldo, Colette Baron Reed, and Marcela Lobos. Now, this deck does have a big guidebook. I don't really use it usually. Look, I love just the backs. Oh, I love it. I love the colors. I love them. Now, this deck, I tend not to notice the keywords. For me, this is really all about the images. And they're so evocative, and they suck me in so powerfully and beautifully. And this is a me deck. You know, it's just for me. I may have used it once or twice with people. I don't think so, though. Because it does suck me in so much. And I feel like I just feel very kind of selfish about this deck, you know? Yeah, I mean, you know, things change. I may end up using it for other people, but right now, no. It's just for me. But it's a powerful reader. Great for meditation. Great for path working. And it's just like even here, right? It's like, okay, it's corn, but where does my mind go? And it goes different places at different times. You know, sometimes it might focus just on this ear of corn, right? It's so golden. And it's so ready, you know? It's just, it's a fabulous deck. Now, my next pick goes with this, basically. So I'm going to leave this right here. And that is the Shaman's Dream Oracle. And again, it's illustrated by Jenna Della Grataglia. And it's by Alberto Villaldo and Colette Baron Reed. Now, I will say that the cardstock is not the best. It's so much better in this deck. A lot of people had a lot of complaints about it. I love these backs. I know some people don't like them. I love them. I think they're fabulous. And I mean, I could meditate just on the back, and it's beautiful. This one we do get like a keyword and a message. So we get more on this than we did here, where we just have like a title. And I don't really use the guidebook with this either. Sometimes I look here, sometimes I don't. Because, again, this is another deck that just, for me, it's all about the art. And kind of jumping in and just really being absorbed there. And I think these go beautifully together. I really enjoy pairing these, spending some time with them, and there's a different energy between these two, but to me it's complementary, and they just work nicely together to me. Yeah, and both of these I would, you know, I would rebuy in a second if I had to. And they're just for me, at least for now. But I think they're fabulous. And oop, that's the wrong box. But the Shaman's Dream comes with a book like this. And the Mystical Shaman Oracle has a bigger book that doesn't fit in here. Like I said, I don't really use it, so it's, I don't know, it's somewhere. I'm not even going to try to find it. So, love. Now, 2, 5. Okay, so that was 10. That was 10, but I'm going to sneak one in because it's not exactly the standard Oracle. It's like a mini. And this is Forest Fae by Nadia Turner. I love this little deck so much. It's so cute. And I really enjoy it. And I've been, so here's the thing. I could make this video once a month and probably have different picks, at least for some of the decks. Because my mood changes. Often it's, I focus more on the decks that I'm currently using. But I love this. It's just a great little add-on kind of deck. It's a great deck if you just want to pick one card. I love this. The Wild God. Go to the woods, to moss, to mud, to magic. Love that. It's a great one if you just want to pick a card, first thing in the morning. Just that quick little message or to add on. I love the artwork. I love the way it feels. It's very plasticky, but they're not sticky, and they just feel nice. Yeah, so I had to sneak this one in because it's a fabulous little deck. And I want to say it's like, $10 to $12. It's such a great deck. And I really enjoy it. So, I do have one honorable mention too. See, I'm sneaking as much in it as I can. Because this is very new to me, but I've been using it with clients already. Very, very happily. This is Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle by Terry Foss. And this did, of course, start off as an indie deck, but this is the mass market version. These are the packs. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful. It's fabulous, fabulous reader. And I'm finding that it really goes with, maybe not everything, but it goes with a lot. It goes with a lot. And I've been using it with a lot of different decks. And it does have a lot of kind of Halloween-y type imagery, I guess. But, like, to me, this feels very Christmassy. And I don't think this is like an only certain season type of deck. Not for me, anyway. Yeah. And this is one that I do, I guess I do it with every deck, really. I go into the artwork first, and then I may or may not pick up on that keyword. But it's just beautiful and wonderful, and it feels cool and warm at the same time, right? Like tonight. Tonight it's frigid outside, but inside it's nice and warm and cozy. I guess that's kind of just like this image. This is what the deck feels like to me, right? There's that outside that, it feels like cool, crisp air, right? We see the snowflakes, but there's a nice fire. You got the kettle on. You have the cozy rug and the dog cuddled up. Like, it's cozy and warm and welcoming. That's the way this deck feels to me. And I love it. I really, really love it. So, had to add it. In case you can't tell, I do reverse, I do take reversals with this deck. I don't even know if that was intended, but that's what I do. Yeah, it's just, it's magical. So, those are my 10 and a little plus. Let me know what you think. Do any of these hit your list? We have the Shaman's Dream, the Mystical Shaman. We have the African Goddess Rising, Woodland Wardens, Botanical Inspirations, Herbal Astrology, Earthly Souls and Spirits, Moon Oracle. So many decks. Sacred Earth Oracle. And then, of course, Into the Lonely Woods, Journey of a Lonely Soul, Wisdom of Hafiz, and my little extra Forest Fae. Let me know what you think. If you have these decks, if you want these decks, what do you think of these choices? And until next time, just be wonderful to yourself. Be really wonderful. Because you deserve the best. Only the best. All the best. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Can I share with you my little... This is my one decoration. It just makes me happy. But, yeah. Just be wonderful. Have a wonderful time. And keep warm. Keep safe. And I'll see you soon.